am the last session you guys are going to, and I appreciate you all being here. My name is Jessica, Jessica Best. That is actually my last name. It looks really awkward all by itself on the placard, but or at Best of Jess on Twitter. And if you want the notes from this, by the way, because there is no way I can tell you everything I know about email marketing in 12 minutes, the slides are going to be tweeted out at the hashtag email ROI at the end of it. So first of all, let's start at the very beginning. Who in here knows what their email return on investment is? Yeah. Oh, no, we had some. Good. Okay. Are you making $28 for every $1 you spend? Okay, no, right? So what's wrong with your email campaigns? The reason I get to ask that is the National Direct Marketing Association reports that of all the media that they cover, email marketing still delivers their highest return on investment. With every $1 we spend in email marketing, we can on average expect to get $28 back. So if you're not getting your $28, demand your $28. And I've got 12 minutes, so I only am going to give you guys the two top, secrets, keys, clues, of things that if you're not doing, I can guarantee you will increase your email ROI. And I am saying the word guarantee, and here's how we can do it. Return on investment mathematical equation. I'm not here to teach you the mathematical equation, but to break it down, revenues minus expenses are your total margin divided by the investment in that campaign. For example, a free shipping offer may go out to your whole list, has a certain amount of expenses associated with that, so volume fees or design costs, things like that. Each one makes its own certain kind of revenue. We can track individual campaign revenues for our emails, and then each campaign can get an ROI, return on investment, associated with that campaign. So maybe $20 for every $1 we spend on a free shipping offer, or $16 for a free product with purchase. New customer bounce back, $40. That's a winner, right? What are we doing right there? So we can either, to increase our return on investment, we can either increase revenues, duh, or we can decrease expenses. Also, duh, those are not the two secrets. The first secret, though, is you can improve your deliverability. So if we're going to manipulate this equation, we're going to increase our revenues or decrease our expenses. One of the ways we can increase our revenues is by improving our deliverability. Super fancy word. All it means is whether or not we're getting through to the inbox. So the dirty little secret of email marketing is you can send out whatever you want. Yahoo doesn't have to deliver that. And they don't have to tell you that they didn't deliver it, right? Their number one priority is to their inbox users. And if they think you're spam, you look kind of like spam, they don't trust you for any reason, they just sort of keep you out of the inbox. That's not a bounce, it's not a spam complaint, you just don't go anywhere, and you don't know that you didn't go anywhere. So Return Path is a company that specializes in deliverability, and their reports say that for the United States, they just did this in 2012, for the United States, valid email marketing, not spam, not all email, but real email marketing, gets through to the inbox 80% of the time. 10% goes to a junk filter or a spam filter or something, and then 10% goes nowheresville. So what that means is, you think you're sending to 100,000 people. I used super easy numbers for this, by the way. So your list is probably not 100,000 people, but it's either a lot more or a lot less. You think you're sending to 100,000 people, and that your reported open rate of 20,000 people, or 20%, industry standard 20% open rate, means 20,000 people are opening. What you're actually doing is sending to 80,000 people, and 20,000 people opening out of 80,000 is actually a 25% open rate. You're doing better than you think you are, you're just not getting to everybody. So if you can get to that additional 20,000 people we're missing at the same 25% open rate, I've now increased my response rate just by getting to people that I'm already paying to send to. It's just not actually getting there. So again, pure math, this is why I can do things like guarantee. I guarantee I'll save you money. I can actually increase your response rates, and all other things being equal, your revenues, by 25% just by getting to people that you're already sending to. So, okay, I've sold you. Now, how the hell do we get better deliverability? I didn't even know deliverability was a thing until 15 seconds ago. And some of you may have been familiar with the topic, but there are a couple of things that tech side things you can do, and then marketer side content things you can do. The tech side is partner with a good email service provider. They'll take care of some things like making sure that your email templates or your email code is good, safe, well-rendered email code. Coding for email and coding for a website are completely different things, and you've got some other rules that you got to play by. They'll throttle your sending. Sending too much email too fast to Yahoo freaks Yahoo out, and they'll just decide, ooh, no, you know what, I bet you're spam. I'm just not going to send any of your email. They automatically handle all of your unsubscribes and your this is spam complaints for you. So you don't have to manually take these people off. They're handling all that for you instantaneously. And then they build in other things like legal compliance. Technically, you need to have your physical address at the bottom of your emails, an unsubscribe link that works either instantaneously or within 10 days. They'll help take care of some of those things for you. You can also kind of pay to play. There's a Return Path as a company that also offers what they call certification, meaning they'll sort of sniff you out, they'll sign up for your list and then unsubscribe for your list, and if you play by the rules, you're following all the best practices, you're kind of legit, they'll vouch for you for a small fee every year, and then Yahoo or AOL pays attention to that sort of stamp of approval and will kind of fast pass you to the inbox. It is a paid service though. The good news is most of your deliverability is actually your responsibility as the coder or the marketer. So that breaks down into having great content and a good, clean list. Let me tell you what I mean. Great content starts with simple things like what we call a whitelist request. The copy at the top of the email that says, add us to your address book so you get all of our emails. Because you can say whatever you want in an email, and if somebody's on a safe sender list, it gets through to the inbox. Make sure you don't use one big image. A balance of image to text is important. One big image tells Outlook's spam filter literally nothing about your email. They get scared, they keep you out of the inbox. In those text words that you use, make sure that you are not saying things like free, free, free Viagra in all caps with 15 exclamation points. You're gonna have a hard time because you look like spam, you have spammy content. The most important thing here is that we send relevant and engaging content. And there's a good marketing reason for that too, right? We want to increase our response rates, so we want a more engaging email. But there's actually a technical reason too. Email marketing is the first time since high school that your reputation actually matters. So if you walk like a spammer, talk like a spammer, you get treated like a spammer. So if you have a 40% open rate and a 10% click-through rate and less than a 1% unsubscribe rate, you look good. You look like somebody who's sending relevant, engaging email. If you've got a higher bounce rate than open rate, you've got issues. You need to come talk to me afterwards. So make sure that the content that you're sending out is relevant and engaging. Great, Jessica, how do I do that? Glad you asked. One, make sure that you segment the content that you're sending. You don't have to send every offer to every person every time. You can, the example that we used on the first slide, right? The new customer bounce back got twice the return on investment of our other campaigns simply by sending something at the time it was relevant to the person, the content that was relevant to that person, and making sure that we know and learn that customer and get them to come back for a second purchase. Same thing with region, lifestyle. Everything that they buy, what else could they buy? So you see this a lot on Amazon emails, things like that. The other way you can have really engaging content is if you test to see what engages people. Test everything. So A/B split test, that's actually the geeky shirt I'm wearing right now. A/B split test everything. If you have subject line A and subject line B, B wins by at least a statistically relevant margin. Then next time you send something that looks a little more like subject line B, right? So basic improvements, basic testing can improve every single campaign that you're doing. The second part of good deliverability is a good, clean list. And I am going to vote that that means that you have a permission-based list only. People who are on your email list, the people who are receiving your emails, asked for your emails. 1999, this is a million years ago, Seth Godin said, ask people's permission to market to them. If they ask for it, they'll read it, they'll engage with it. There are so many fewer people that are gonna say, this is spam, I didn't sign up for this, how do I get on this email list? The trickery is not gonna work here because it damages your reputation by making you look like a spammer. When somebody signs up, they go to your website or your checkout and they take an action to get on your list. Set expectations in the moment. How often are you gonna send? What kind of content are you gonna send? Why do I care? Give them expectations and then follow through on those expectations. If somebody doesn't know you're a daily news email source, they're gonna be surprised when they get a daily email from you. So make sure you're setting and following through on those expectations. The other thing that doesn't happen automatically is, even though your this is a bad email address bounces will be automatically cleared out by a good email service provider, the ones that say, I'm no longer at this email address, I'm at this email address, or I don't work here anymore, take me off all of your lists, those are not managed automatically. You have to be a human that reads the content of those emails. So make sure you're keeping your list clean by getting those people out of there. Number two, the big secret number one, deliverability. Big secret number two is you have to be prepared for this. So I work for an email service provider, and I'm saying send less email. okay? We are going to either re-engage or we're going to get rid of inactive contacts. If I have 100,000 people on my list. Marketing Sherpa is a company that specializes in email marketing as well, although they don't charge for any of their information. And they say up to a third of your list can turn over every year. So after 5 years, if you do nothing to clean that list, update that list, add to that list, you're working with 16% of your original list. And you may not even know it. Somebody abandons a Hotmail account and it just never comes back. You don't know, right? You don't know that you're not getting through. So you send something like Chipotle does. Chipotle says, you got on our list somehow, but we can't seem to, there's an echo when we send you email. So do you want to stay in button? Do you want to just leave our list now, out button? And those should be unsubscribes, right? Those are easy to handle. If somebody clicks in, great, they're re-engaged. If somebody does nothing, let's say somebody hasn't interacted with your list in 13 months. So if we're sending, I'm going to skip past this because he just gave me the wave. If we're sending to that same list of 100,000 people, 20% are opening, same standard open rate, right? There's a portion of that list, and industry says about 35%, that never opened or has not opened in 13 months. If I can reach out to those people, re-engage maybe 10% of them, and then nuke the other 25,000 people that I cannot seem to re-engage on that list, I'm now not only re-engaging that 10%, so increasing my revenues, I'm also saving the money, the volume fees that it costs to send those 25,000 people, and I can clear them out of our list. So let's take a look at it. What did we do to our numbers? We took our list size down, which means we took our expenses down. Our revenues went up by that 25% just by getting through to the additional 25,000 people's inboxes that we were missing before. And just by making those two changes, mathematically, I've increased our return on investment to over $28 return on investment for our free shipping offer. We're not quite there with free product with purchase, but that's okay because we still haven't learned anything about what subject line works best. This is just the mathematical increases, right? New customer bounce back is now at $50 for every $1 spent, so I've just made you $50. You're welcome. I actually am at my time, but because I'm the last presentation of the day, I'm completely spoiled, and I'm going to stay and answer any questions you guys have. I actually have a super cool A/B split test t-shirt for the person that fits a size small and asks me a question at the end. Would love any feedback you have. This is the QR code or the short URL. Happy South by Southwest, guys.